Hello friends, Music Man from his man cave. Well, today we're going to talk about 401ks, 403bs, Roth IRAs. Coming at you right now from Music Man from his man cave. Music Man from his man cave. So, there's a lot of channels here where people say that 401ks, 403bs, Roth IRAs, which I'm going to explain exactly what they are a sham. And that the government's going to steal it back and you're going to end up broke and destitute in your retirement. Well, I've heard that about Social Security since in the 70s. When you get there, man, Social Security is not going to be there. It's not going to be there. Well, you know what I feel about Social Security. Look at my other video that I put out. I believe that Social Security will be there, but it will be adjusted. It will be means tested. People like me, that by the time I retire, I'm planning to have a couple million saved, so I'll be a multi-millionaire. I think I can easily do that if I stay on course. I'll probably have some setbacks. I may only end up with 1,800,000 or 1,600,000, but still. Remember, in this game, it's not about outrunning the bear. It's about outrunning the other hunter. I'm sure you've heard that joke. So you may have a couple million and end up only having 750,000 in retirement. Well, you're going to be a lot better off than someone that only saved 20,000 and only has 5,000 in retirement. They'll have to learn how to eat dog food with many different kind of creative recipes and ramen noodles and macaroni and cheese with some biscuits. It's going to be tasty. So, what's my attitude? What is a 401k? It is a way of saving money that is usually offered by the people that employ you. You put money in there and they automatically have certain companies or the government, bonds with the government, stocks with companies like Microsoft, Merrill Lynch, Coca-Cola, going down the list. Those kind of things that are pretty stable. Even cigarettes. Yeah, and the bonds are the government side. And looking at my wife, that her 401k, she's been averaging since she's been doing the 401k since she started working about 5 to 7%. Now that compounds interest. So this is why I say the next step after you get out of debt is start putting as much money as you can into your 401k. Try to max it out. Why? Well, number one, it is tax deferred. What does that mean? Well, that means that when your income tax bill comes, because you have your mortgage paid off and you don't have any debts, that you reduce how much taxes you have to pay right now. It will be taxed later on, down the road, 18% federal, and for the other taxes for state, FICA, whatever. But right now, it lowers your tax bill. And then that compound interest, if your boss gives you a 3 to 5% match and that compound interest, you can put in $300,000 and it ends up being $1 million by compound interest. The illustration would be if I gave you a penny and told you I was going to double it every day for a month, how much money would you have? Well, you think, I've had people tell me, $10? No. At first it doesn't seem like very much, but because it's 2 cents, then 4 cents, then it turns into 8 cents, then it turns into 16 cents, then it turns into 32 cents, and so at first, the first 10 days it doesn't seem like very much, but those last 10 days, it really compounds and it ends up being $10 million. If I gave you a penny and told you I was going to double it every day for 30 days, that's a good deal to play on someone. At the end of 30 days, I'd owe you $10 million. And so what happens is that 5% it's like the opposite of a credit card. It compounds on another 5%, it compounds on another 5%, it compounds on another 5%, all the way down. And by the time you retire, those last 5, 10 years, it boosts your way up there. We're talking hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, according to how much you invest. I think right now you can put $18,000 into it. So what's a 403b? If a 401k is a private government savings program. A 403b or a 401k is a private, 403b is government. Okay, so the next thing that you would do is, like, I have a pension as a teacher, which is going to be very substantial, but on top of that, if we max out my wife's 401k, then we're going to put money into my 403b. Even though she gets a match, I don't. So why would I put it into that 403b? Well, what happens is, again, it's tax deferred. So in other words, I pay less taxes by putting it into the 403b. And again, they're going to have somebody that's in charge that's going to be selecting companies through stocks and the government bonds. We're just basically taking our 5 to 7% off the head, like a hedging off the top. And so there is no secret to this. There's no get rich quick scheme. You're going to want to just kind of stay the course. Don't touch it. Never touch it. Until you're 70 years old, don't touch it. Well, 59 and a half, you can legally touch it, but I'm planning to probably not touch it until I absolutely have to. And why you don't touch it is because it continues to compound. If you leave it alone, it compounds. And it really boosts it up there. But then they're going to tax it, and, out of that $2 million, Ted, you're only really going to get, $1,500,000. But come on. That's just ridiculous argument. The bottom line is, it's a good way to save money. It's a good way to cut taxes. It works. Now, what's a individual retirement account? Roth IRA. That's where if you roll your 401k money into the Roth IRA, they're going to immediately tax it, and it's going to be reduced. But then at the end, you don't have to pay any taxes. So when you're done with your company, or you're done working for the government, you're going to want to roll your 401k, 403b into a Roth IRA. In fact, if you max both of those out and you still have money left over to put into retirement, you want to probably get with a financial specialist that you trust. I'd recommend probably people that have integrity, like people through Dave Ramsey, somebody that doesn't have a commission on the line, if you know what I mean. They want to make money, so they want to push you towards stocks you're going to end up losing your shirt, like Fannie Mae and what was the other one? Freddie Mac, or I don't know what the housing market everyone's putting so much money into and they lost their shirts, like Enron. The secret is diversify. So you see, I have a pension, I have a 401k that I want to max out, and then a 403b I want to put money into. Diversify. Diversify is a very good idea. Now also, you have an option, and I don't know if all companies offer this, but we have an option if we want to just do all bonds, all stocks. I like what's called the potato couch method. If you haven't heard about the potato couch method of investing, it's where basically you put half into bonds, half into equity, into stocks, and you just leave it alone. And so you're not constantly messing around with it, and you can end up really getting yourself into trouble. And there's another thing called timing the market, and I wouldn't recommend that unless you're really, really astute, because you can lose your shirt on that. It's where you buy low and you sell when it goes high, but you have to be pretty savvy or you can end up losing everything with that stuff. So I like the potato couch method. Just basically good companies that you know are doing well, bonds which are pretty consistent. Now someone may argue, but you could lose it all, the whole economy is going to collapse. Well, like I said, you're going to either be part of the solution or you're going to be part of the problem. Part of the problem with our country is we're not saving enough money. So I say save. Whether it be a 401k, 403b, Roth IRA, whatever vehicle, a CD, but they offer almost nothing. They offer us like 1%. That's a certificate of deposit. And there's other ways to invest, but I would beware of insurance companies and such. Because I've had all the books I read, they say there's really an opportunity to be ripped off by your insurance agent. Why? Because they make a profit off of what they push. So there you go. 401ks, 403bs, Roth IRAs. Are they a good investment? I say absolutely. The key is saving a certain percent of your income, 15% through your life, but like now my wife and I are going to jack it up to 25-30% in the next coming 20 years. And we're doing that because I know I have a plan. I know exactly where I want to be when I retire. I'm not afraid of not being able to afford to get things fixed. I'm afraid of medical expenses, long-term care, those things. And hopefully, through all this, I can leave at least the house to my kids and those things, and they'll have something of a gift from us. But the money will be all spent on the things that we need up to to our last breath. So that's where I live. I tell my kids, don't expect a big inheritance. I believe the Bible's clear. Any extra money, we're also going to, next I'm going to talk about giving. We're upping our giving. We're going to give as much as we can possibly give to the church and to charities. Talk to you later. Music Man. Hope this helps. Take care. Bye.